Hello and welcome to the Whisky.com news on the 21st of May 2020, and we have a number of very interesting news. Yeah, we see the markets are getting up and running again. More and more bottlings are coming out, and more distilleries are proceeding with their plans. And first news is, no, I didn't get a haircut yet, and it doesn't look good for my haircut in any time soon. So maybe you have to bear with me with a few more weeks with bad haircut Ben. That's actually a cool name. Okay, first real news. The Port Charlotte OLC number 1 2010 is out. Very interesting bottling. It's a 30% first fill bourbon, or first fill American whiskey oak, or something like that they called it. And then we have 40% second fill American whiskey casks or barrels, and 25% French sweet wine casks, 5% first fill Syrah wine cask, whatever that is, and 5% no, that was it. That was the mix. And then we have that everything married together in first fill, or also sherry hogsheads. So a little cask finish in the end as well. So it sounds really like a really well matured whiskey, and very complex whiskey. But we'll see. 40 ppm, so it's a really smoky one. 55.1% ABV. High strength, cask strength. I'm not quite sure about that. And yeah, it's really interesting. Hopefully I will get it here on the cask. Then we have another virtual Campbelltown Festival. The Campbelltown Festival is done by Glen, Scotia, and you can view it on the 18th till the 24th. I think that's the whole Campbelltown Festival, but we're doing a bit of a promotion in Germany for Glen, Scotia, as you can buy the Dunwich Warehouse tasting set beforehand and try that. They looked a bit at our live tastings and did the same thing. Yeah. Then we have news about Laphroaig. A few years ago, they discontinued the Cask Strength, and a lot of whiskey fans didn't like that, and they're still sad about it. And look here, ooh, Laphroaig 10 years Cask Strength will be back. End of May in Central Europe. I'm not quite sure how the US and the other markets will do. Maybe 2 weeks earlier, maybe 2 weeks later. It's 60.1% ABV, so it's a real cask strength, and it's matured in bourbon barrels and finished in quarter casks. Then we have news from Glenlivet. They're planning a tasting lodge. Yeah, but the problem is, where they're planning tasting lodge for about 10 people is a region where there is a really dark sky. And the International Dark Sky Association, didn't know that this existed, is already criticizing their plans and trying to prevent that, because if they build their lodge there and they have, let's say, lanterns and cars are coming with headlights, then they do light pollution there. And that will disturb people with telescopes that are looking into the sky and want to see beautiful stars far away from our planet. And yeah, you can only do that if you have total darkness. Yeah. So we'll see how this story unfolds, if Glenlivet is finding another location, if they are, I don't know, not building any lanterns or any lights there. Car lights still a problem, but I don't know. So we'll see. Keep being subscribed so you will get the updates on this story. And talking about updates, we have an update on the Craggan Distillery project. Yeah, the Craggan Distillery had a really tight plan for production, and they wanted to go in production at the end of 2020. But they had a bit of a struggle with the I'm not quite sure if it's landowner with their land they wanted to build on. They had a bit of a struggle or fight there, and it delayed the plans, and now we had a bit of a virus situation, so that also delayed the plans. So they are not quite sure when they will start production now. Probably sometime in 2021, but we will see. Also, keep being subscribed, you will get some updates to the story as well. And then we have another update, but not from the news. I had a distillery video on the Fettercairn distillery, and during the interview with the master distiller, I already got some exclusive information about a new Fettercairn coming out in the future, and the Fettercairn is now announced and will be available soon. The Fettercairn is a Fettercairn 16-year-old. It has 46.4% ABV. It was matured in ex-bourbon barrels and then finished in sherry and port wine cask. So it sounds really, really nice. And as far as I know, it will be a standard bottling. Then we go down the south and we go to Cotswolds, the English distillery. And they're a rather young distillery, so they're now releasing a whiskey liqueur. Yeah, a young distillery can use a bit of a young spirit. They have a lot of young spirit or young whiskey there, and make a liqueur out of it. And in a liqueur you can hide a bit the youth of the whiskey and sell that for a good price to have all your other whiskey not sold and matured for older and better quality. Yeah. Then we have Teeling, who bringing 2 new bottlings on the market. One 28-year-old single malt, and the Brabazon number 3, which is a 14-year-old with 49.5% ABV and a finish in PX casks. And then we have some news from James E. Pepper. 1776 rye gets a brother, and that is a 1776 rye sherry cask. Oh, very, very interesting bottling. Keep being subscribed. I will try this bottling. I do like the 1776 range. They are really good bottlings. They're really interesting, intense bottlings. And now with a PX finish, how is that gonna work out? We will find out together. Then we have news from the international markets, from Germany. I've already told you that thing with Elsburn. I think that was Glen before, and they renamed themselves to Elsburn because of some legal battle, and now they have their first batch out of the Elsburn Distillery Edition. Yeah, and the last news of the day is we are having a new live AMA, and during the live AMA I have a bottle that is only sold in Germany, so just bring your own bottle that you usually enjoy when you enjoy whiskey, and we can have a little AMA together where Horst and I will have a chat with you. You can ask any questions or any comments, and we will have a nice conversation, and then everybody will sip a bit of whiskey. That will be on this Friday, the 22nd of May at 8 p.m. Central European Standard Time. So all of you internationals out there, go to Whisky.com/live, click on that video for the AMA, and you will get the time for your exact time zone. That's the easiest way to find out when the live AMA will be, if you want to be there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. These news were a bit longer, but we had a few short news weeks during that whole lockdown period, and now everything's loosening up, and hopefully the whiskey market will thrive again. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.